The simple reason why you don't do this is because this bus service is not supposed to call along this side of the road. Only this side. You know why? This side is industrial. This side is residential. So that's the difference. So that proposal, yeah, you keep this side. That's one thing. Which means that for people along Hong Kong Avenue 3, they still have connectivity to Kovan, MRT. So in essence, if you're starting your commute from here or here, the one in black is like your forward bound. Your return bound, you still have to call the exact same bus stops. Like this. And again, the reason why is because you want it to call along the residential side of the road and not the industrial side of the road. Because 115, the reason why it even exists is to cater towards like the residential side in the first place, not the industrial side. So who you prioritize matters. The thing is that both residential side and industrial side, they have access to like this road. That's true. So when it comes to like prioritization, making the industrial people cross the road or cross the overhead bridge, it's fine because most of them are able-bodied. Like even seniors that are still working in the industrial estate, they're still like somewhat able-bodied. Like they need to have like some form of like physical fitness to even like work there in the first place. So using the same logic, if you make 115 passengers crossover from the other side of the road, it's not the same thing. You know why? Because they're residents. They're not industrial workers. And this area tends to have like it's like disproportionately seniors when it comes to like population here. So this is exactly why they need 115 to be along this side of the road. Because they're residents. And 115 is designed for residents, not necessarily the industrial workers. Although that being said, again, it's designed with the residents in mind, but that doesn't mean that the industrial workers cannot have access to this bus service. They still have it. It's still along the same road. It's just that they have to cross the bridge. That's all. It all comes to like who you prioritize. And before anyone comes at me saying that all commuters must be equal, no, there is no such thing. And in fact, it's more of like it's selfish on your part to take away a bus service that they've had for like nearly 2 decades because quote unquote you won according to your plan an equal level playing field between residential and industrial. But again, this is more of like people just don't understand. No matter how many times I try to repeat myself, people just don't understand why 115 even exists in the first place. The pink route, it's much longer, and not just that. Take a look at the traffic junctions. You have one right turn. You have another right turn, which is at a cross junction. And this one, if I'm not mistaken, is also a cross junction, which means that you would spend a lot of time idling before your bus could actually turn right. Whereas if you don't do this and you just keep the original route, oh, by the way, 115 is not getting amended. This is just some stupid idea from someone that I don't know. Whereas if you do this, it's just one right turn and everything else it's left turn. This saves time and it basically reduces the number of buses you need for 115 because you don't even have that many right turns to deal with. You don't have to waste time. So again, I need people to understand why some loop bus services they are anti-clockwise or they just rely mostly on left turns because Singapore is It's an RHD country. Right-hand drive, meaning people drive on the left side of the road, not the right side like the US. If this were the US or like let's say South Korea or parts of Europe that aren't like the UK, they would prioritize right turns instead of left turns. So again, this side. This is why 115 is a unidirectional loop service. It's not like in the case of Buangkok Link or Buangkok Crescent. The difference is that you just have to serve the road. It doesn't really matter like which side the bus is on. Like if it's on this side or this side, it just has to serve the road. These two black lines, they are distinct catchments. But whether you choose to serve this side or this side, it doesn't really matter that much. Although in previous videos I did say that like over here you have rain shelter and over here you have rain shelter, and then I did talk about like in theory which side should you prioritize for AM peak, which side should you prioritize for PM peak when it comes to like service 114 because of the extension, right? So I basically talked about how the anti-clockwise looping, it's better for PM peak due to like reasons. You can go watch that video. But basically, this is still not so bad because the road is relatively easy to cross. It's not like Hougang Avenue 3, whereby it's a major road, there is a fence in the middle, and you have to cross the road at either pedestrian crossings or overhead bridges. These roads, you can pretty much cross anywhere, like in the context of like Buangkok Crescent. I think Buangkok Link may have that fence in the middle. I don't know, but yeah. But that's the reason why 101 calls here. And not like on the other side. Because seriously, I just want to put this matter to rest already. Like, this service and this service and this service, they serve different purposes. So just leave it at that. Don't touch them. And you know 944 and 992, right? Crossing this road, it's not really a big deal because this is like a minor road, it's not a major road. So yeah, this is why as long as there is like adequate rain shelter, it should be fine. Not like in the case of Hougang Avenue 3. Because again, this, and this, they are trunk services. They are designed to take the straightest route possible. So that's why they are along Hougang Avenue 3, both directions. Whereas 115, it's not a feeder service, but it kind of acts like one. The reason why it isn't a feeder is probably because it doesn't start at like an official bus terminal, just like in the case of 42, and that's the reason why it's not feeder in this case. But classification aside, 115 acting like a feeder, it means it was designed with convenience in mind. It wasn't designed to like call both sides of the road like 25, 55, or 854. Or even 51, 87, 151. This is a feeder. It has to do its job properly as a feeder service. Residential feeder service, if I were to be precise. That being said, ignore this for now. Ignore this. Conceptually, a route that starts from Bidadari, ignore this. Bidadari Park Drive, Bartley Road, Upper Paya Lebar Road, Lorong Asu. Up till here, it's fine. If you want a conceptual bus service, you know what? I should use a different color. So just focus on the parts I highlighted in green, like Woodley, Bidadari Park Drive, Bartley, Upper Paya Lebar Road, and Lorong Asu. This one could be turned into a new service that goes to PLAB. You just make it go along Tampines Road, and that's pretty much it. I don't even mind if like conceptually your new service is something like this. Then you kind of do this kind of thing, and then you send it to PLAB. I am fine with this as a standalone bus service. The concept of it is not bad. Or even if you choose to like do this instead or do this instead, it's fine. But please just don't use this service to kill off the purpose of this service. Okay? Because whatever you design, it has to be a separate service from 115. It just serves a different purpose. I think it's probably due to the fact that like people think this bus service hogs resources when it's not even hogging in the first place. Because number one, from Bidadari to like this area, you would have 146. That's one thing. I know 146 and whatever route that these people plan, they're not like actual planners. They're just wannabe planners. But like 146 and this conceptual route, they're different. The catchments are different. That I get it. But the reason why they do this is probably because they are fed up that quote unquote 115 is resource intensive for the length of its route. But I'm like, how is this even resource intensive when it's just one right turn and everything else it's made up of entirely left turns? Just left turn, left turn, left turn, left turn. It's just one right turn, that's all. So how is this even resource intensive when it's pretty much an enclosed, isolated bus route? You guys want scientific terms? Fine. Enclosed, isolated bus route. And that's the reason why you should keep 115. Same thing for Yishun. Why are the feeder bus services seemingly along this side of the road and not along this side of the road? Well, it's simple because the residential side is here, and what the hell do you have like here? It's a restricted area and then just some private housing, which is already served by 965. Okay, so how do I even say this? In the past, this one, I think one of its fragments was 801, and the bus terminal was like somewhere, I cannot remember where the bus terminal was, but it was along Yishun Avenue 5, and it was just a square. So this square, it's not like geographically square, but conceptually a square, an anti-clockwise square. And eventually this square got extended, keeping the original parts of the square intact, just that right now. You get the point. Extend, 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 and extend. This is pretty much 811's North Loop. So do you understand the purpose of this? I know nowadays there is 861 that goes to like Canberra MRT. That's one thing. But there is still no straight line service across here. So because there just isn't a need for it. So what do? 811 being like this, it means that let's say you live along here and then you want to take 965 to like Admiralty. Okay, you take 811, you intercept 965 along this side of the road, and there you go. And the opposite is true as well. 965, sorry, if you're coming from Admiralty, you take 969. I mean, you could take 965 and then cross over. That's also another option, but you're able to take 969 like this, and basically anywhere along this sector, you're able to intercept 811 back. So you're basically doing this. It touches amenities as well. And then the other direction is like this, 965. So at Yishun Avenue 5, you're able to intercept 811. And along Yishun Avenue 7, you're able to intercept 811 as well. This kind of thing. And not just that. If you are coming from 171, you don't have to go all the way to the interchange. If you're coming from 171, again, go to Yishun Avenue 5, intercept 811, and then if you live here, oh, it's convenient for you. You don't need to like take 171 here and then you take 811 here. No, you could just intercept it outside. Let's say you want to do some like, you want to buy some things along this area because there's like Chongpang Market and stuff like that. So you spend a few minutes along this area, like you're buying dinner or something, and then you have 811 at your doorstep, at this doorstep, and then you take 811 to your doorstep. So this is the reason why 811 is designed or was designed the way it is or was extended in a particular manner. And I'm saying this because a lot of people just don't understand the purpose of 811. Like they just don't understand the purpose of like all these quote unquote unidirectional anti-clockwise loop services. It's anti-clockwise for a reason. It takes advantage of like all the left turns instead of having to waste time with the right turns. The other purpose of 811 is it's actually very simple. If you live along here, you have access to school, market, some other amenities here as well. I could even say these schools, like you just walk a little bit. So you're able to, it takes you from Yishun Northeast, let's just say Yishun East, to the west of Yishun to Chongpang. And from the west of Chongpang, sorry, what am I saying? The west of Yishun from Chongpang back to the east of Yishun. So effectively, it links this area with this area. It's simple. It's the exact same thing as 800. I've talked about this before. So as you can see, 811 covers this area, right? So what's left? This area, 800. So 800, again, same thing. Takes you from this side of Yishun, which isn't really well connected. It has 800, it has 804, and that's pretty much it. 804 basically takes you down there. 800, it allows people from this side of the road to access Chongpang. Although the catchment is a little different. You know why? Since you already have like 811 doing this, because of history, because of the old 801. So what do you do with 800? You need to make it call a slightly different catchment whilst preserving all the left turns and stuff like that. I don't know. Yeah, you know, left turn, left turn, left turn, left turn, left turn. It's that both of these services, they are designed to bring you from this side to this side. But in order to avoid duplication or stuff like that, you have to make it a little different. So in essence, what 800 does is that it brings you from this side of the road to Sembawang Road. Meaning you have access to like this, you have access to this as well. So if you're coming from any of these two services, yeah, you have to cross the road, but that's what 800 was designed in mind. How 800 was designed in mind. Okay. Basically, it's also for people along Sembawang Road, for them to access Yishun Street 71, your doorstep. See, the schools are here as well. Like, if you study here and you live here, it's good. You take the bus here and then you take the bus back. It's pretty simple. So as you can see, 800 is actually a lot simpler to understand as compared to like 811, because what purpose does 800 serve? It basically serves this entire area. It kind of serves a little bit here as well, you know, these schools, right? But it's mostly this area. You need to look at it visually for you to understand. And I have also noticed that a lot of people, they alight at the bus stop here opposite Darul Makmur Mosque. They wait for 965 to get to here. And then as an added bonus, they have 800. But there are some people that I've noticed coming from like the other trunk services as well, like this. They come from other trunk services, they alight here, and they board 800 specifically because they want to be along this side of the road. They don't take 858, they don't take 969, they don't take 856 or 171 or whatever these other things are, because you know why. They want to be along this side of the road. If people take all of these other bus services, they want to go to Yishun Avenue 5. They don't take these bus services to Sembawang Road and then cross over. I mean, there's probably some people that do that, but if they have a much easier option so that they don't need to cross the road, you know, they come from here and they live along this side of the road. They they just intercept 800 from the other trunk service to bring them towards this side of the road. So that is 800's purpose. And by the way, you guys just watched my 800 KUB video. I think I recorded like the ISLink card tabs. And if your destination is here, it's fine as well. Like if you're coming from here, you just sit through the loop. And then, yeah, you just sit through the loop. It's convenient. So essentially, regardless of like which part of the route, which part of the loop you are on, you have access to here and here. Basically, this is what 800 was designed to do. You can be along any part of the route. You still have access to here. And even if you have some wacky idea of like, oh, I wanna, you know, make 800 eat up service 803 like this, you know, I wouldn't even blame you. Again, I don't really recommend doing this, but I don't really even blame you if you have ideas like this, because it doesn't even change the purpose of like 800 in the first place. Although having said that, this means that people who are living along this side of this part of the route, they might get a little angry at you because they no longer have a fast direct option to reach these areas. They have to rely on 804 and cross the road. I don't know, but basically there are side effects, obviously, but I don't blame you if this is your thought process. Like, because regardless of whether your thought process is good or bad, at least it doesn't really change the purpose of 800 within this loop. Also, what other benefits are there to use 811? Okay, there is one benefit. You are along this side of the road, you want access to Yishun MRT. Good, you have it outside. You don't have to like cross over like this, you know. So this is the benefit of taking 811 over stuff like this or this, you know, because 811 actually calls the bus stop outside Yishun MRT. So this is the one good thing about taking 811. It is convenient. And not just that. When you're coming back from 811, let's say you live along this side. Okay, mostly here. You live along this part and you don't want to go all the way to the interchange to take 811. You could just take it outside at Yishun Avenue 5. And then there you go. It's convenient. Another thing is the added benefit of 811 is that not only does it allow you to intercept 167 and 980 along this part, like this, you know, not only does it allow you to do that, it also allows you to, let's say you're coming from like 169, you're traveling along here, here, and then here, and you're just going home, right? So you could intercept 811 at either this bus stop or this bus stop opposite the mosque, and you just take 811 like this. So yes, like 167 and 980 from here, and then you have like 169 from here. I mean along Yishun Avenue too. So this is what 811 is. This is what feeder services are designed to do, from the trunk services to the feeders, or from the feeders to the trunk services. It doesn't necessarily have to be a very intentional connection, but if the connection is there, try your best not to break it for no reason. Hopefully, I don't see any more of this nonsense in the future.